Good evening, everybody, and welcome to where we are bringing you tonight's featured club, the Underground Racing Club. Here, we are being brought to you with their first time on the restream tonight is Solaris. Elias is handling our tracking, and with me in the comms booth today is Pixel Tamer. Pixel, how you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Really excited to sort of be bringing you this sort of revamped underground racing club here, as it were, with some new kind of twists on the objectives here.
That's right. We have 6 fixed objectives, and then our 2 random ones tonight appear to be to trade the rat tail and use the sand ruby.
Yes, indeed. So lots and lots of key item gated uh, uh, tasks to complete here. Now, what they've done here for the Underground Racing Club is a lot of the overworld objectives, which are largely regarded as sort of free since they can be done very early in the game, have become mandatory to sort of take them out of that pool and sort of force the seeds to be a little longer, a little more engaging, seeing more of the seed than you might normally under just sort of the regular objectives here.
That's right. And we have an Edward start, so he's not so great in the early game, but there's definitely some shenanigans you can get up to in the later game once you've got that spoon, once you've found adamant armor. Unlike 3 Zone, we do not have the flag set to disable adamant armor, so you may find one or more throughout the process of clearing the seed.
Yes, indeed. And there are a couple of bosses that Edward can be very useful against, some very situational uses. Things that come to mind are that evil wall that can be a huge roadblock, especially if it's a hook seed and they're required to go through that Evelyn Cave route. Edward can really prove useful with that hide commands, letting evil wall sort of deal damage to himself. So there are some niche uses that some of these runners might be able to take advantage of.
That's right. We've got more treasure than we're used to seeing lately. We've got sparse 80 instead of sparse 60. It is T standard, so we're going to be seeing a little more even spread of loot as opposed to certain locations being more incentivized. And
yeah, right you are. And those shops are going to be on the pro setting, though, so there is going to be significant advantage to wanting to get underground as quickly as possible, get those upgraded shops with maybe some of that more useful items and gear to help you progress through the seed there.
Right, like you said, we have S Pro, weighted shops. Normally you can find tier 1 to 4 items on the overworld. It's going to be tier 1 to 3 on the overworld instead, and gated shops will go up to tier 4 instead of going up to tier 5. So the nice items like Bacchus wines, sirens, hourglasses, they're going to be harder to come across.
Yes, certainly. On the character front, we don't have any restrictions on the characters outside of the usual ones, though there is not a guarantee that every character will show up. So if you are specifically looking for one character to maybe complete your strategy, you might not be able to rely on them showing up somewhere. So we might see a lot of duplicates. You can get rid of your characters, of course. This isn't permajoin, but they are gone when you let them go. No bringing them back at the Tower of Wishes. And I believe we are just about ready to get underway here.
That's right. Who are you hoping to see as our second character?
Well, if I'm a runner here, I'm looking to see somebody that can do some damage right out of the gate. Somebody like a Palom, he always makes a fantastic second character. Once you get about a fight or two under his belt, he's got enough experience to get those tier 2 elemental spells and really carry you through the overworld. Sid would be another character I'd like to see, just because he's ready to go right out of the gate. He's got the HP and the damage to sort of take care of all of these bosses on the overworld. So if I'm a runner, those are the characters I want to see. If I am the chat and I am vindictive against the runners, hoping to see another Edward.
That is fair. Let's see. Yeah, we don't have no dupes turned on, so we could potentially have oops all eddies.
We could. Like we said, the characters aren't guaranteed, so if the RNG gods are particularly nasty, could be nothing but eddies. But let's see what we actually have. And wrong twin. That's Porum.
It's a twin. And Moonboss is giving us a Baron key.
Yeah, that's an interesting item to start off with. That's going to give you direct access to that Baron Armory right from the get-go. So if you want to take a look in there and see if there's something there to be helpful, that also increases the number of overworld checks that you've got that you can potentially make before making a dive into the underworld. So it'll be interesting to see how our runners decide to route with that. And we're getting past Objective Way here. And then we'll see how our runners decide to do their initial routing. And it looks like we're seeing some very similar choices here, both Antidale and Dr. Cossack. We're going to make that play into Baron itself. And there is a monk available in our seed. Yang is sitting in his vanilla location there.
Not bad. If you can get a punch mage and slingshot him, he's going to be great. And, he doesn't really care about anything other than strength, so he can just get going.
Yes, indeed. Plus, he can do some significant damage with that Wonder Claw, the Thunder Claw, against a number of enemies that have a weakness to lightning in this game. So he can be very useful in such situations.
Yeah, I believe it also deals bonus damage to machines inherently.
Yes, I believe you're correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. Many machines in this game are weak to thunder, but thunder does not imply weakness, or machine does not imply weak to thunder. It just happens that many are also weak to thunder.
It's one of those squares or rectangle kind of things.
Exactly.
And immediately heading over to Mount Hobbs is Antidale, looking to get some offensive power in this team. While Dr. Cossack is going to make the Damsian play instead with that T-standard flag on. A lot of chests in the Damsian basement. Really good place to start looking for gear. And there's Palom up on Mount Hobbs.
Palom with our third moon boss of the night.
Yeah, this is going to be definitely worth checking here. Adding Palom to your team right now is going to be a huge offensive boost. Plus, since you've already got Porum, you've got access to that twin magic. And there's the Nook Noodle himself.
Yeah, I think Twin Magic does not trigger a Ghost counterattack, so you could potentially get through it that way.
I like this strategy from Antidale here. Going to be bluffing up that Palom so that it doesn't have to Twin Magic as much here.
That's right, at these low levels, you can only pull off 2, maybe 3 twin spells before you're out of MP.
And yeah, you're absolutely correct. No counterattack there from Twin Magic, so that's fantastic. Meanwhile, speaking of offense, Dr. Cossack has found a Dancing Dagger in Damsian Basement. So that is some solid offense for Edward there for the opening stages.
Yeah, and a Silent Staff to get that Porum's white magic powered up.
It's really, really good gear there. Andrew went into life, didn't do enough damage, went out of the menu, and he got whacked anyway.
And we see the reset there.
No.
Definitely doable, but Ogopogo is rude at pretty much any location.
Yeah, this is definitely where you want to see Ogopogo in a seed like this, is somewhere early on where you can kind of get him out of the way fast. But that doesn't mean he's going to be a pushover. He has just got a nasty AI script with some really rude spells.
That's right. He will normally counterattack any magic with Blaze, which is another HP-based attack. But if you attack him with Lightning, he'll counter with Weak. And depending on what circumstance you're in, you might actually want to draw that Weak counterattack because of that Blaze counterattack.
Yeah, when you don't have reliable area healing this early in the game, yeah, Blaze can be really difficult to deal with, especially when you're hurting from that big wave. CPU is over here in the Mist Cave. Dr. Cossack's going to go ahead and finish it off, get an objective cleared here. Shouldn't be much problem at all for him with that Dancing Dagger. That's just going to cut through everything and not really having to worry much from that Mazer. It's 10% of your health. Goes relatively slowly, so he should be able to just get on through. Ooh.
Uh-oh. That's some globes. Hide, Edward, hide!
Oh, no, he's fine. Calculated.
Oh, he got through.
Great job by Dr. Cossack there. Everything's fine.
And Antidale has successfully acquired a Quake Kid.
Yes, this is big for both runners here, both making progress. Antidale in the party development side, and Dr. Cossack in just the raw objective side. So yeah, both of these routes so far are paying off pretty well.
Yep. Yeah, with 8 objectives, you definitely need to get them done at some point. Yeah, one of the big guiding philosophies of 3 Mist Zone in particular was check your objectives. They could lead to something important.
Yeah, there's no telling which of these quote free objectives on the overworld is going to have a Mist Dragon behind it that's going to lead to a bonus round. And a little bit of a high five here from our runners as they're heading into the Antlion Cave basically simultaneously.
Of course, the game can also be trolly and put like a wyvern on one of these free objectives.
Yeah. Or, Ogopogo at Mount Hobbs.
Yeah, no, Ogopogo on Mount Hobbs is rude.
Vampire there on Dr. Cossack's screen is not a bad pickup. That is a really useful item in early game to do some damage.
Yeah, that'll make this Antlion Cave boss free.
So we sort of mentioned, Porum here wasn't the twin we were looking for damage, but I really do like Porum as a white mage here. She gets quicker access to the Berserk spell than her counterpart Rosa, and one of the other advantages is she can learn the exit spell naturally, and with no talent in sight here, who is our usual source of exit in such seeds, that could be really, really useful for our runners.
Right. And meanwhile, we have our 4th moon boss here in Antlion Cave as we one-shot a Pale Dim with some twin spells.
Ooh.
And we got a party rock.
We do indeed. With the treasures the way they are, it would not surprise me if Antidale beelines over to Troya to get those chests looted.
Right. With 2 standard, they're not going to be exceptional, but it's still a very high treasure density.
Yeah, I think the Lunar Racing Club came by and had an exception to and decided to just invade the overworld here.
Yeah, those lunar bosses are tired of being faded. They're like, no, you're going to have to fight us today.
Dr. Cossack right behind Antidale grabbing that Earth Crystal. Wouldn't be surprised if he's going to make a similar play over to Troya here.
Silk Web is a nice pickup for Antidale.
Yeah, we found one of those in the Antlion Cave as well. So yeah, if we can't find those in shops anywhere, really, really good to have a couple of those on hand, especially going into the Zeromus fight. It's 2 layers of slow applied with a single turn. Can be really a godsend in that fight.
Yeah, slow works on everything in this game, even bosses, even the final boss.
Yeah, it is a very underappreciated effect.
A little Throd in there, that's good for your black mages. But overall, not the strongest.
Yeah, oof.
I mean, G standard, not D pro or
it's
D
true.
wild.
Yeah, so yeah, we weren't going to see too much great in there, but yeah, Little Throd being your biggest prize maybe be a little disappointing.
Yeah, it's not a charm rod, but still +5 to your black magic stick.
Yeah, Palom is definitely going to like that. I got excited because I saw Stardust at the end, but no, that is the item, not the rod.
that is the Stardust consumable, not the Stardust rod, unfortunately.
Which is still going to be very useful here. That'll likely get thrown in some sort of multi-target fight here on the overworld and essentially one-thread it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you run into the dolls, either permutation of the guards, Mylon and friends, it's going to do work.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's silk webs for sale, so...
There's more silk webs.
Perfect. Gets a couple of those, yeah, so he's going to be fine. Any boss that's particularly speedy, he can bring to heal and take care of really quickly now. And Antidale heading to Fabul. We'll see if this is just an item check or if he intends to take on the defense mission here.
Well, it is an objective.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And like we said, do your objectives, get the key items from it. A lot of people like to Maybe fade football a little later. See if you can get one of those combo meals by getting the pan or a Sheila check in there as well. But of course, adhering too closely to that can get you to miss some very crucial items early on.
Yeah, and we've got Karate Man in the waterfall, it looks like. Which is not fun. You normally fight the Octomom there, and it's very fast, it's punchy, and Karate does not have the same script that Octomom does of slowing down every few hits.
Yeah, precisely. So that's just going to be a nasty fight for the time being. Not going to be difficult once we get into like the mid game. You can kind of come back and stomp through it, but definitely not something that you're going to want to spend a lot of time on, especially since the only thing you're going to get from it is an objective clear. It's not going to give you any kind of progress other than that.
Right. Is this going to be our 5th Moon Boss? Nope, it's the Mega Sisters. Stardust will probably take care of them.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, this is beautiful fodder for that Stardust, but it looks like it's going to go for the twin cast option instead.
This is risky. Flare can be reflected, I think. Yeah, that almost took out that Forum.
Oof. And that does take out the Forum.
Then that Forum got taken out.
Yeah, you called it. But here comes the Stardust, and that should be fine. Meanwhile, Dr. Cossack's screen, he is going into this Ogopogo fight with a much better equipped team than Antidale did, so we'll see if he has much trouble here.
Yeah, and Antidale took a wipe to the Mega Sisters, could not defeat the central one fast enough, and she revived her buddies, and back to square one.
Yeah, figures that the one that can revive the others has the most HP. Ooh, very aggressive play here from Antidale, just going right to Mount Ordeals from that wipe, not even go and give it a second try.
I mean, it's a fair amount of XP with the 2 bosses.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you get the Gauntlet as your 3rd boss, like, it's annoying to fight the Gauntlet in the Legend Sword room, but it's XP.
Indeed, yeah. It's one of the consolation prizes of getting the Gauntlet, is if you can get it into a spot that normally doesn't give XP, you get a little bit extra levels than you would normally have in such a spot.
Yeah. What's worse, Back Attack Gauntlet or Ogopogo Gauntlet?
I would say Ogopogo Gauntlet. Back Attack Gauntlet is annoying. Ogopogo Gauntlet is potentially wall-inducing.
Speaking of potentially wall-inducing, at certain spots, this guy is very rage-inducing.
Yeah, you are not wrong. I don't think I've seen 4 rages in any of the shops yet, but we do have Palin who can hardcast Lit 2. A little bit dicier since it does have that charge-up time, but that is some big damage, so hopefully Wave won't be a problem for him going forward.
That's right. While the water is up, he is weak to lightning. When the water is down, he is weak to ice. Palin can do both of those things. And we're doing a great job there tanking the floor for us.
It's what bards do best, besides Dragoons.
Going back to the old Final Fantasy XI meta, I like it.
Some things never change. And Kanazo into his shell. This wave queued up from earlier. Yeah, that is going to be pathetic damage if he's at this stage of health.
That's right. I believe the wave attack is only like 4% of Kainatsu's current hit points.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And this spot has like 3,000 or 4,000 tops.
And Dr. Cossack fighting the Mega Sisters here gets the Stardust off, is again left with just Cindy. And yeah, Cindy's going to get the rest up. I don't think he's going to be able to recover from this at this point.
Yeah, if we can get Quake, it'll be a one-shot.
That is very true. Quake solves a lot of problems.
There's a reason everyone loves Palin.
Yeah, Antidale through the Kainazo fight, going back to take the safety save, get everybody up here. Oh, he's going to leave Edward dead? Yep, why not? And it's Dr. Pepsi.
Oh, it's Dr. Luggage. That's not too bad.
Yeah, this is never really a particularly dangerous fight. It is going to be a little annoying since he's going to get most of his cutscene text off with the back attack, but should be able to get through this pretty efficiently. Oh, and Dr. Cossack had not saved before going into Fabul. So now is without Palom, is going to have to go back to Mount Hobbs and fight Ogopogo again. That's really rough.
That is super rough. Save early, save often, save slots are a valuable resource.
Yeah, there's just always that inclination to just go in. You feel strong without a save, but it takes time to save. But gosh, the potential you can lose from not saving, just take a couple seconds. Take my advice. Dr. Lugai is going to show us that his true form is a spooky, scary skeleton.
I think this is technically a machine. I think he actually turns into some kind of robot.
Robot skeleton?
Sure, we'll go with that. Little column A, little column B.
Question chat, do I speak with experience on the saving thing? Yes, I absolutely do. Many times. Some of them embarrassingly restreamed.
Oh yeah, it always feels especially bad when you make some kind of blunder on restream. It's like, oh man, everybody just saw me do that silly thing.
England says I need to get caught up on my Arnold. We'll be back on that.
Yeah, just double checked the wiki, and yeah, Dr. Lugay's second form is a robot.
Well, I have always seen that as a skeleton my whole life.
Oh yeah, it looks very skeletal. I completely agree with you. I was surprised when I learned about it too.
I love this game. I learn something new every time. And into the Kluya Shrine, we've got a magma key, so no hook required to get underground. Ooh, but there's Golbez.
Everybody start laughing. Get your ha-ha-has out. And if Eddie can hide in time, nobody will have to die.
Axel Higgs says Dr. Lugai's second form is a Doom Revenant. I will accept that. That is both skeleton and robot. So that's, I think that would fulfill everybody's desires there. Dr. Cossack heading back in, going to give the Maga Sisters another go here.
Did take the safety save this time, right?
I believe so. Now, I like how he does it this time. He's going to use a Dancing Dagger first on Cindy to get some damage in, and then hopefully the Stardust will take them all out at the same time. We also have a rare situation where Mindy might before Sandy, so just burned her sister there for a little bit.
Love it when the ATB system has those little quirks like that.
And very smoothly done. Excellent job there for Dr. Cossack.
As we can see, not a whole lot of power at this spot for Golbez. That led 3 did 100 and some damage. Cossack getting a pan for his trouble from defending Fabul, so he will be able to two-shot this.
Yeah, that's excellent. I love getting the pan before heading underground because that just makes the routing so obvious. You're going to get so many key item checks as soon as you get there. And getting it from the Fabul check has got to feel really good too, because you know that, okay, even if I would have faded this, I wouldn't have gotten any value. So that's big news for Dr. Cossack.
Yeah, I have a strong dislike of diving Sylph Cave without the pan, and that has cost me multiple times. So I have been begrudgingly getting into the habit of doing panless Sylph to enable that check, but I don't have to like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. I feel you 100%. Just going in that Sylph Cave with no pan in hand, it's just, I don't want to be doing this. This cave is too long.
It's like 2 or 3 minutes of running. And I don't get anything for it
And
necessarily.
all these damage tiles hurt.
Yeah, because I'm going to take like 5 or 10 seconds to heal, depending what I'm doing afterwards.
Another high five here as Antidale exits Mount Ordeals and Dr. Cossack goes up it. Dr. Cossack will be in line to get his very own Magma Key. Meanwhile, Antidale's going to go turn his in and head, as the community club name would imply, underground.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the aggro shops yet, have we?
We have not. Not sure if Antidale's going to give it a check or just drop the key in and go. Talking about the value of that slow spell earlier, and Dr. Cossack, hardcasting slow on Cognizant with Quorum, that's going to give him a little bit of a greater window to get this lit off with Palom while the wave is up. So yeah, there goes the lit 2. This is going to do big damage. He should not have had time to queue up our wave before then.
Yeah, one of the quirks of the system here is that if something's in the queue, you can't really take it out of the queue. And I guess the wave spell does not check when it's executing. Am I still in wave status?
Yeah, always fun when you have like 5 turns after Cagnazzo and then he still waves like 15 minutes after he had the wave up. It's great. Feels wonderful. Thanks, Final Fantasy IV. And he gets him into the shell, so he's very quickly to finishing this fight.
Antidale is going down into the Feymarch first.
Yeah, interesting. He has not finished Fabul, so does not have that pan.
Right, yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah, so he's going to be checking that free chest. That's often a quick check people like to do to see if that pan is hiding out in there before he does anything else. So yeah, we'll see if this leads him a different direction. What he decides to do here.
There's a white spear.
Oh, if only we could have get a Dragoon in our party. Definitely like that.
Yeah, and there was some nice heavy armor there. I saw Dragoon gloves and Aegis shields.
And I believe there was some Dragoon armor hanging out in Damsian Basement, which would be really nice if we couldn't find any of the strength enhancing gear like a black belt.
Mm-hmm. And I think we had there was something good in the shop here. I think it was Cure 3s here in the Feymarch shop.
Yeah, I think you're right. I believe I saw that before we went around. Yep, Cure 3s indeed. And Illusions are not bad either. A little on the pricey side, but they can help trivialize some fights.
That's right. Illusion will cast Blink on the user, and cover strat's very strong, where you just have your Cecil keep casting Illusion on himself and taking all the damage for your party.
Rogue Siren there. If there's none in shops, that can be a quick little bite of XP.
That's right, Sirens are a tier 5 item, so with these flags, the only spot we're going to find them is Kokol's shop. And we've got a free fight here in Asura's location.
Yep, that is Edge's parents. And they're not going to put up much of a fight here. Antidale just going to go right in there. Just has to survive a couple of rounds against them, and then he will be fine.
Right. In the ye old story, Dr. Loge did terrible things to King and Queen Evelyn and turns them into monsters, and during the fight, Edge pleads with them, and they eventually come to their senses and sacrifice themselves to help Edge in his quest to avenge them. It's kind of sad.
But no Edge in the party today, so no need to traumatize a ninja.
Exactly.
Should be getting close to the end of this fight here. Antidale taking the time to do a little bit of inventory rearrangement there. That's something you see a lot of high-level players do is rather than wasting valuable time sorting your inventory, use this downtime where you can't do anything anyway, and get your inventory sorted so you know where everything is.
Yeah, that is a skill I really need to develop.
Yeah, me too.
I am super prone to spending way too much time in menus. We've got Virus and Berserk now on Antidale's side.
Yeah, that's big. Virus is going to be the big winner there. That means he's very close to Quake, but Virus in and of itself is a very good spell. There's the pass, so not progression, but that is definitely something Antidale is going to like seeing.
Yep, means you just have that much more flexibility in how you're going to approach Zeromus.
Yeah, gonna take an exit out of there. Don't blame him. Calcabrena, even though it's gonna have its HP split up 6 ways, it's still gonna be a very, very nasty fight.
Yeah, come back when you got Quake.
Yeah, exactly. Once you got Quake and you can survive a couple hits from those dolls, then yeah, that's going to be a much, much easier fight. In fact, he's throwing that Siren down to go ahead and fight an egg here, so that might be what's on his mind right now.
Yeah, wonder if he's going to get Edward up or if he's going to keep him as a floor tank. Oh, that virus was not enough. We've got a dragon on our hands.
We do. It's only got a couple hundred HP left, so he should be...
Did he save after defeating that King
I
and Queen?
certainly hope he did.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. He hadn't saved since Luge.
Oh, Antidale. Oh, goodness.
Oh, no. That is terribly unfortunate.
Yeah, that's...
That's like 10 minutes.
Well, all of a sudden, it's a race again. I mean, it's actually very heavily in Dr. Cossack's favor now. He's made one additional check over Antidale at this point, having completed Fabul and with that pan in hand. So, yeah, Dr. Cossack is just taking the lead right back from Antidale as far as our on-screen runners.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Antidale does have the knowledge of what's in the Fame Arch, so that might come in helpful as well.
Yeah, that's very, very true. He
nothing in the Fame Arch was direct progression.
Exactly. Yeah. So he can kind of put that off. He knows, well, I got the dolls to check later, so we can go do other things first. Knows what that white spear is if Kane ever shows up.
Yeah, and I believe it's throwable if we find an edge.
Yes, indeed. And Cossack is through Golbez and is going to be finished with ordeals. So now the world is his oyster. He's got that pan and that magma key. I wouldn't be surprised if that's his next play.
Oh yeah, Cossack is almost guaranteed to go whacking with the pan.
He's still struggling a little bit against Dr. Luga here. Should be okay though. He's got Palin back up. Here 2 going out on him. Yeah, should be able to get this back. Momentum back in his favor here very shortly.
Yeah, this Twin Magic will deal a good chunk of damage, and we're back to Golbez.
Yep.
But yeah, both runners demonstrating early save.
Yes, indeed. And that's our second high five going the other way on on ordeals. You don't really like the circumstances in which it happened, but look, looks like Cossack might be going for the Baron play before he goes underground.
Alright, and this Moon Sparkle is D-Lunars.
This is a really good spot to find D-Lunars. 400 HP, split 2 ways, 200 HP a pop. This is going to be very, very quick on a fight that can be a real pain in certain places.
Oh yeah. On the other hand, it means we don't get to see frog strats.
That's true, and you do always love to see a good frog. But nope, he makes the D-Lunars croak a different way, and that's with Curing Spells because they are undead.
Alright, Hag or Gauntlet?
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet.
Yes, it is! So this is one of those places where if you gotta fight the Gauntlet, it's not the worst place to, because you're gonna get experience from all these fights where you would normally get none.
That's right. Normally, Karate Man does not yield experience. One of 3 spots in the game, I believe, along with the Dark Knight spot and the King Queen Evelyn spot. And
Palom did just learn Virus, which means he's only a couple levels away from Quake. He might get it before the end of this gauntlet.
Right. Virus is level 19. Quake is level 23. It's definitely going to get Palom close.
And Antidale is through ordeals a second time here. do got to give it up to Antidale for one. After realizing, oh gosh, I hadn't saved since here. Didn't wait around, didn't bang his head too much, just jumped right back in there and got going, and showing a really good spirit there. So
yeah, I would have tilted super hard. So
oh yeah,
kudos to him. And we see a Fang Shell die to the sap effect from the Biospell there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is the Omewamo Shinderu kill there.
I would love to see it happen to Zeromas, but I believe it takes something like 17 hours.
I did it by accident once. Not the whole thing, but
you did not cast Virus and then just punch her up for 17 hours.
Was having 17-hour controller issues. I believe we're in fight number 4, if I've been counting correctly.
I think you're right.
And once more into the breach for Antidale.
With a brief stop on the mountaintop.
Always got to make that stop.
Yep, it looks like we are heading back to the Fey March.
Yeah, it looks like it might want to... Actually, no, he might just be retracing his steps entirely to get the XP, get the Siren, and do exactly what he was going to do before, just without forgetting to save.
Yeah, save and bluff twice and should be fine.
That way he should be able to get Quake on Palom, and that is going to be a substantial increase in power for his party.
Yeah, both of our runners are definitely approaching Quake levels of experience. Pour him with the staff whack. Takes care of that last monster.
Boy, the Sparse Flag's really affecting the outside of the Fey March here. That is a lot of open chests.
And we've got a tower key for our trouble.
Yes, Dr. Cossack is going to have a lot of options in the underground now. He's got everything from the Sylph Cave available. He's going to have both checks in the tower. Only thing he's really missing to complete everything is the Lupa key now.
That's right. We do not have the warp glitch turned on. Only the life and Sylph glitches. So, yeah, we can attempt to clear most of underground pretty quickly.
It's going to be a big subterranean exploration once he goes there. Going to check out that Baron shop. It's going to have slightly better loot than he would get otherwise in the overworld because it is locked behind a key item.
Yep. Mute Knife is nice. Black Belt is nice. Diamond Shield is acceptable.
Yeah, not bad things at all there. But right now, Dr. Costa is going to take on that inventory boss that we all hate so much.
Yep, and I guess the Hades is located underneath the underworld at this point, since King Eblin is still talking about dragging us down there.
I mean, that sounds right. I've been playing a lot of Hades, and so I think I'm an expert on Greek mythology at this point. And yeah, the Hades is very down.
If you go down from Hades, do you reach like Ultra Hades?
Yes. We don't speak of Ultra Hades.
Okay.
That's forbidden knowledge there.
Gotcha. Kostak is not saving in the waterway before heading up to that boss, and we know it's a moon boss.
We do, which I believe the only moon boss left is Plague at this point.
We have not seen Plague, we have not seen
That's right, Wyvern also still in that pool, that's correct. So that's not a coin flip I really want to take wildly.
Exactly. 50% chance of free, 50% chance of doom. Place your bets, chat.
And it is...
Oh, it's not Doom.
Well, the next time we see a sparkle, we know what it's got to be.
Oh snap! We got the reflect off.
Very, very nice. That's going to reflect the Doom back onto Plague. And so now Plague's got count on himself.
More importantly, Plague is gonna do nothing but cast count because there's a party member who does not have the count status.
Yeah, he's very persistent. He sees no counts, he's just going to keep doing it over and over, and it's just not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, much like a certain vampire we all know, he is obsessed with counting. And that looks like an operations management
Very
analyst.
nice. Yeah, that is going to be very useful in Dwarven Society. You've always got to be analyzing operations management as a dwarf.
I mean, I will totally do that job if it lets me afford the curse ring we just saw.
Absolutely. That's a big find. Getting that minus 15 to all stats sounds like a bummer until you start to realize how the agility system in this game works, and then you want one character with very, very low agility to sort of tank everything for the rest of your party. That curse ring is an excellent way to do it.
That's right. The very short version is that the ATB system keys off of your central character, and no actor can be more than 5 times faster or slower than that central character, so you can effectively put a cap on the boss's speed and increase the frequency that your party gets to take a turn.
And I believe we have vanilla agility on, so if Cecil shows up, he's going to be the source of that agility manipulation.
That is
Regardless
correct. We do have vanilla agility turned on. And the King of Baron is the King of Baron.
What a twist. I can't even yell at Dathis because this technically isn't vanilla.
No. Although Zoe's been making a strong case for taking Dathis' throne as the monarch of vanilla.
That's true. That's true. This is Solaris' first restream, so maybe this is going to be Solaris' gimmick, is canonical correct spots.
Antodale exits out from the bed, which is just, it's amusing to me. I don't know why.
It's like, bye, buddy.
You hop in your bed and then cast spells and just, I'm gonna leave your bed all messed up because I got in here and then just disappeared.
And Odin is down. Antodale is hopefully going to have a little bit better luck against the egg this time, even though the egg did surprise him.
Yes, I always wonder how those eggs manage to surprise people.
Oh, they're sneaky.
Hey, we got second Porum.
Not as useful as second other characters, but that is another user of Twin, if nothing else.
That's right. Fun thing we learned during the early days of this game is that you just need 2 of any twin to cast Twin. You don't need to have a Palom and a Porum. You can do it with 2 Paloms, you can do it with 2 Porums, you can do it with any combination of the 2.
Yep, it's going to use the spellcasting stat of whatever character is in the highest priority spot. So with Palom being in the center spot, that's the number 1 spot, it's always going to use Palom's stats in order to cast it.
You know, having a second White Mage, nothing to sneeze at.
Not at all.
Looks like we've got Quake online over on Enterdale's side with that level 26 Palom. We've got our Darkness Crystal.
Ooh. We said that the world was Dr. Cossack's oyster. Now it is. He's got virtually every spot in the game unlocked at this point.
Yeah.
What is he going to do now?
The only check we don't have access to right now is Twin Harp and Sealed Cave.
That's correct, yeah.
Oh, and Adamant Cave. Question from chat regarding our party flags. We have C standard, maybe, Japanese abilities, and buy. So every character can potentially show up, but they're not guaranteed. Edge and Fusoya are gated behind key items. Once you dismiss somebody, they're permanently gone, and you have access to the Japanese exclusive commands such as Bluff and Power Punch.
So we see the big whale being raised by Dr. Cossack. Let's see if he is going to make a full moon check here, or if this is just going to be taking a peek at the character up there.
Yeah, we shall see. I did not see what Antodel found in the shops in Dwarf Castle, unfortunately.
Yeah, one of the interesting things is we've seen so many difficult bosses. We've seen 5 out of the 6 lunar bosses at this point. That leaves a lot of potentially free bosses that could be available on the moon if somebody was going to be...
Sorry to interrupt, but we've got a very stacked shop on Cossack's side. We've got Starveil's, Life, and Thor Rage.
Wow, yeah, that is pretty big. The best use for that Thor Rage we've already defeated, which was Kainazo, but those Starveils are going to be very useful.
Yeah.
Antodel having some trouble with the dwarf NPC in the hidden passage between the weapon and armor shop, but...
Yeah, Cossack has in fact defeated both bosses where Thor Rage would be useful, so I don't expect him to purchase any. And yeah, Chat is pointing out that, yeah, we do have the Curse Ring in Tomra, and we did see a little bit earlier from Antodel that we've got an Operations Management Analyst as Job Dwarf.
And Antodel is going into the tower. This is going to be a keyless tower play. The tower key is available right now, but Antodel has not made that check and does not know that yet.
All right, moon character. Who's it going to be?
Vanilla Foo.
I would be on board with that.
No, how about a bard?
I guess we can play some duets now.
The Moon Prince himself.
Gotta say, I like the Edward we already have in the party as far as palettes go.
Yeah, it's a good palette. The neon colors fit Edward really well, but yeah, I'm a big fan of the red and black there, the goth Edward. Big shout out to Scala Kitty for all of our fab palettes on the characters.
Yeah, did you see what the guard signed up to hook to there?
I missed it. I looked away just as he was looking.
Well, we've got free going on here at the top of the tower.
Yeah, this is really nice for Antodel, because this is another spot that gives a lot of experience points. And even though he's already at the point where he's got Quake, this will be a nice infusion of HP for both of his mages here.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of that experience is on the officer, who will run away if his 3 soldiers are defeated.
Yeah, I'm curious if Antodel's going to make any kind of concerted effort to kill the officer first and maybe try to life glitch him, or if he's going to decide that's not worth the time investment and just Quake away.
Right, we did see him cast the stop spell on that officer, so he's at least going to make the effort to avoid letting him run away with all that delicious experience.
Well, not just going to Quake away, it looks like. But at least he should be able to get the kill on the officer here, even if he's not going to be able to get the life glitch on him.
Oh no, did not get there.
Yeah, unfortunate. The hard-casted stop does not have the same length as a stop used as an item. I believe when it's used as an item, it always has the maximum length that it can, whereas it's based on your stats if you cast it as a spell. So didn't last as long as he needed to get through there.
Yeah, and we had a Leviathan summon as a reward there, so just going to reset out of that because we have not seen Iridia yet today.
Yep, can sell it for a lot of money, but not worth the long trek out of the tower there.
We've got what looks like elements probably at the Dwarf Castle first spot.
Yep, we're going to have some kind of leg here. Meanwhile, we got a pan slap here for Dr. Cossack.
That power shield will be nice for you, yeah.
Yes, it will. It is a very nice item. Not the kind of progression you may be hoping for, but yeah, Yang will definitely appreciate that. Because of the way Yang's damage formula works, he gets a greater benefit from strength than most other characters. So, plus 15 strength on a shirt, really nice for him.
Yeah, it is literally the most powerful shirt that Yang can equip outside of like adamant armor.
And Antidale is going to reset out of that Rubicante.
Yes, I was mistaken. It was not full. It was full leg, not quarter leg. I think there's a slight difference in the animation between the two, but I don't know how that plays around with the jumping animations in the back of the throne room.
Yeah, generally speaking, I believe it's if he's not animated, it's Rubicante. If he is animated, it's the elements. But there's some spots where that's reversed.
So it works this one way all the time, except when it doesn't.
Exactly. It's like I before E, except after C, and all of the other million exceptions where it's not.
English language, everyone. It beats up other languages in alleyways for spare vocabulary.
Oh, I'm being told by Scala Kitty, who knows more than me, that it has nothing to do with it. So never mind.
Right. Yeah, we will trust in our Scala Kitty. She knows many things. Oh, it's based on the original sprite. So does that mean that like if the regular sprite of the boss location is animated, Rubicant will be animated, or vice versa?
Ah, okay, good to know.
All right, we are learning things today.
Ooh, a little bit of mistime there on that ice too. It's going to hit Rubicante's cloak, and he's going to absorb it there. This can be really tricky. I really like that slow cast there to open up that window from which he's going to be vulnerable to Ice 2. And I think he's got the timing here.
Yeah, Rubicant is one of the more clever elemental bosses, where he will actually cover up his weakness from time to time.
Antidote looks like he's going to stick to that virus spell, not going to risk it on any further ices. And yeah, I like this getting Edward up right before that glare hits, just so that the glare has another potential target. Because right now your VIP is Palom. It's keep President Palom up. He's going to be the one doing the damage. So yeah, really smart play there, knowing how that glare is going to work.
Right? Would you call him your very important Palom?
Yes, I would. I would indeed call him a very, very important Palom.
Palom eats that glare. It's not great. We're going to have to get 2 party members up quickly, or else we are not going to survive the melee punches.
Yeah, we did have a life queued up there by Porum, but yeah, this is this is getting ugly fast.
We didn't even get to see if Edward dodged or not.
Yeah,
but,
unfortunately.
Was unlikely.
Yeah, Antidale right now is just suffering. He's got the power in the party, he just does not have enough targets. Dr. Cossac's got a full party right now. So, you know, situations like that, he's going to be a little bit better off because there's just going to be more essentially dead weight for bosses to hit instead of your important characters. In fact, yeah, it looks like Dr. Cossack might be banking the play to Dwarf Castle next, so we'll see how his party fares compared to what Antidale was able to do.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Antidale is going to make that trek through the Sylph Cave and do the Sheila 1 check. Probably do Fabul while he's there and be rewarded with that pan.
And of course, because I predicted he might do something, Dr. Cossack is going to go do something completely different. But looks like he's going to go turn those next 2 checks in on the pan, which makes a lot of sense.
Check your freebies.
And Sheila, for her first item. Oh, there we go. That's full access for Dr. Cossack. And an apple to go.
Yep, can't complain too much about the gold apple. It will prop up the hit points of either Porum or Edward.
Yeah, not a terrible consolation prize, but a consolation prize nonetheless. The big...
Right. I suppose it could also increase the hit points of Porum, since we do have 2 of them.
Yeah, yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah, Cindy's call of "Come on, Mindy" it takes on a little bit more of a morbid tone when both sisters are dead.
A little bit.
Come on, Mindy.
Surprised we saw the Blizzard get used there instead of against Rubicant.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Hanging on to that could have, since it's used instantly, you can guarantee that you'll get it in while the cape is open.
Yeah, I believe that Blizzard's spell power is based on your current hit points, but still exploits that ice weakness.
We're going to see our first check on using that Earth Crystal to go into the Tower of Zod here. Dr. Cossack is headed up that way. Doesn't look like he's interested in checking for those trap checks and trapped chests and that flame dog check here. Just going to go right to the boss.
Yeah, like I might check the one on level 2. Everything else is too far out of the way.
Yeah, it's a commitment. And when you're only on T standard, it's one that's not likely to pay off too much.
Right.
Especially when you've got kind of a mage heavy party like we do here, where equipment isn't going to be as important as levels are.
Question from chat: how many objectives are required? We have 7 required objectives tonight.
Yep, there are 8.
Hey, there's a bonus round.
Oh, wow, that's one of the rare demist sightings in Magasister's spot. This is an especially funny spot when demist has crucial progression here, because nobody thinks to check this spot.
Yeah, this has happened to me. I think it was a 3-minute zone practice seed where, yeah, you had to go do demist at Zot.
Yeah, one of my first community races I ever played in was required demist, and I was just seeing forfeit after forfeit in chat, and I was like, what is going on? And then I couldn't find the magma key and couldn't get into the ground, and what's happening? And yeah, it turns out that's what demist was, and I didn't even know that could happen.
Yep, this is a freely accessible spot, so demist could be hiding here with underground access. Our runners have met up again. We'll probably high-five after they're done dealing with their bonus rounds.
Yeah, interesting that they keep meeting up in spots like this, but Antidale is still significantly behind Dr. Cossack as far as just overall checks made. And down goes demist for Dr. Cossack. We get 2 character checks and another boss here. Ooh, no save. Ooh, Edge is a good find.
Yep. Edge comes to the party ready to go. He starts at level 25, and yeah, he's a glass cannon, but he's a strong cannon.
The thing I really like about Edge right now is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe we've seen sirens in any of the shops.
Correct. Sirens are a tier 5 item, so under these flags, the only place we're going to find them is Kokal.
Right. Oh, yeah. Good point. But Edge is able to steal sirens from the alerts in the trap chests in Tower of Babel. So that is your potential grind to get to the end game right there.
Normally, yes, but we have Eno sirens.
Oh, that is on my mistake. So never mind. That strategy will not work, but keep it in mind if you don't have that flag on.
Yeah, I mean, Edge can also still steal other useful things like Bacchus wine from those Mad Ogres.
Yeah, that can be really useful if Bacchuses aren't available for you. And there's 2 places you can freely get Mad Ogre encounters to stock up on those if you've got a melee heavy party.
Yeah, and it looks like Dr. Cossack got rid of Edward and Second Porum in favor of Kane and Edge.
Yeah, not a difficult decision there when you've got a white spear in your inventory, just raring for a Dragoon to hold it. This is going to be a very, very good team here.
Curious about the power shirt going on Kane instead of Yang.
Early on, I think it makes a lot of sense. Yang really isn't going to be doing a ton of damage until the end game anyway. Might as well put it where, you're going to actually get some damage out of Kane with that white spear. And then in the end game, when Yang is going to be starting to do appreciable damage, you can move that power shirt over and get better use out of it. Of course, not a lot of power needed to get through this fight. Waterhead, just 3 attacks and we're done.
Yep, and Edward is still taking a nap, will not be available to defeat his nemesis during this fight on Entadale's side.
But it will make for a hilarious cutscene.
Yeah, as the spirit of Edward's fiance implores him to stop napping and join the fight.
Sorry, dear, this floor in the tower is just too comfortable.
I am protecting my allies from this thing collapsing from underneath them. Especially important when we're out in space fighting Zeromus. I've got to make sure that whatever weird force projection that's allowing us to stand here does not lose its integrity.
I would welcome that in a weird void where I didn't know what I was standing on.
That's fair. We've got a glass helm for our reward for Water Hag.
Yeah, I think the real reward there were the character pickups. Glass helm,
Yeah, and
you can throw it on if you've got a particularly nasty physical fight. Really useful for like cover Cecil strats where you just are going to be taking a lot of physical damage, but not a particularly amazing item.
oh yeah, back row Cecil with glass helm, defense sword, a good shield, good armor is just he's going to be indestructible.
Mm-hmm. And our bonus round. Ooh. Potentially interesting.
Yep. It's not super useful right this second, but it does mean we could have gone underground without going through Ordeals if we really wanted to.
Yep, that would have been an alternate way underground. Plus, there's that character check in there. We have no idea who is at the end of the Evelyn Cave. We're looking pretty good as far as party strength goes, so I can't imagine anyone's going to dive Evelyn just looking for a character at this point, but they are out there.
Yeah, if I'm Cossack, I'm fairly happy with my party, and I'm probably not going to change a whole lot right now.
Yeah, and
maybe try to grab a Rosette and slingshot her because she is stronger in the late game than Porum.
Yeah, exactly. And our Restreamer Solera is pointing out that that hook is absolutely required since 6 out of the 7 objectives have to be completed. 2 of the objectives are to turn in the 2 tails, so one of those tails has got to get turned in, and that is going to require that hook. So it's Dr. Cossack's turn to go into the tower, finding a middle sword. There's a appreciable damage upgrade there for Edge.
Oh, it looks like Cossack is gonna set up to do some stealing, but we've got no Siren, so hopefully he learns that sooner rather than later.
So if since I've not tried this, if no Sirens is on and you try to steal, is it just going to give the generic couldn't steal message? Or is it going to say it doesn't have anything?
I don't know. I've never tried this. We're going to learn more things tonight. Antadale is cleaning up some business, taking care of the karate.
It's replaced with a Cure 1. Okay. So that's going to let him know immediately that, okay, yeah, this isn't going to work. So that's good news. He's not going to be sitting there for a while wondering, why can't I get a Siren?
Yep, Antadale is going to dive into Cave Evelyn, hopefully just doing a shop check, because, like you said, the character check might not be necessary right now.
Yeah, this is one of those gated shops, so it's going to have slightly better equipment than what would ordinarily be available on the overworld.
Yep, there's some long the best you're going to find for Edge in a store on these flags.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy to find those. One of the issues with Edge is, even though he starts off great when you get him, his damage can really suffer in the end game if you don't find any hardware upgrades for him. So getting those long swords, they're not the best thing that Edge can equip, but they're definitely way better than those starting short swords. So
yeah, I would argue that Edge is probably the most gear dependent character in the game.
Yeah, I'd be willing to agree with that. Either him or Cecil are definitely up there. Yeah.
I would pick Edge over Cecil because Cecil has more variety of equipment. So even if you don't get the best stuff for him, you still have stuff for him.
That's very true. Yeah.
It looks like we've got elements as a second boss of the hook route since we've already found Rubicant.
Yep. But we do have Tella, which is interesting. This opens up some other grind options as well. We'll see if Antidale decides to take Tella for that reason.
Right, and we've got C-Buy on, so he's got to take him now or hold his peace. Replacing a Bard with a cranky old man. I can get behind it.
Yep. Got to get his grandfather-in-law.
Oh, and immediately slapping that curse going on.
He knows what that Tella life's about.
I imagine that'll come off once we've got a Darkness Crystal and can do our D-Machine, but, you know, that is a problem for later. Because we've got to clear Baron Castle to get that Darkness Crystal.
Yeah, and that might be where Antidale is headed next. Nope, going underground. Why do I even bother guessing?
Prediction is hard.
Gonna go hit that monk in the Sylph Cave first. And Dr. Cossack's going to take advantage of the loot in these trap chests since he can one-shot these alerts with Yang.
It looks like Antidale's going to do that too.
Ooh, interesting. Looting in the Sylph Cave. This is bold.
Yeah, there's like 6 trap chests and damage tiles everywhere.
But yeah, he has his agility set up with that Cursed Ring and Palom in the right spot here so that he can get that Quake off before they get their Fire 2s off. So yeah, this might actually give him a lot of experience too. So this is a very interesting play. I really like this.
Yeah, it's super bold, and we've got a Valvalis over on Cossack's side guarding the super cannon. So the Bikini Tornado, as she has been dubbed recently.
Who needs clothes when you have wind?
I don't think real life works like that, unfortunately.
Thanks for telling me I was going to try it. That would have been embarrassing.
Yeah, we don't want to get you any citations for indecent behavior.
Oh, a ninja hat. That's a great find right there.
That is a nice find. +3 to agility, strength, and vitality, so it makes everyone just a little bit better.
Yeah, there isn't a single person who doesn't like having one of those. I like Scala Kitty's headcanon that she operates by Bayonetta rules. That's good. I'd subscribe to that theory.
I should really play Bayonetta at some point.
Quite
There's too many games on top of.
Another ghost fight, and some quick menuing here from Antidale should get him through it.
Did Cossack save after defeating Valvalis?
I did not specifically see.
So he might potentially just have to haul that Leviathan out.
And Antidale looks like is going to be tackling the sealed cave next. We've got a tent being used outside. Easy place to save scum. We know the boss isn't going to be offering anything. If there's not a useful key item at the bottom here, Antidale can just reload out of here.
Right, we're not going to have any boss hunts, so Demus is accounted for. So like you said, we pick your key item and we decide if it's something we want to slog back out.
Yeah. And since he's got Tella in hand, who just gives so much access to ways to get your team leveled up, I can't imagine he's going to be using this for a door grind or anything cheeky like that.
Right, yeah, I would totally expect Antidale to hold out for that Darkness Crystal and then go do some D-Machines or something. Which will be much easier than it was in Threema's Zone, because we've turned off that you can't run.
Not like it was doing much anyway.
I mean, it forced the community to adapt a bit.
We forced the people to get very clever for a bit. And then
But yeah, For those who have not seen one of the feedback pieces on the admins posted some of their thoughts, and one of them was like, "E Can't Run didn't really do what we wanted it to do." Antidella did not save before proceeding, so he's either going to beat this boss or he's going to just say forget it.
Yeah, I usually skip the save there too, just because I have a tendency to save over the save I was using to scum. So just for safety's sake, I don't save so I don't doom myself to committing to the full loop to clear. Oh, that's a pink tail. He's not resetting.
Yeah, so you take a safety not save.
Yes, a safety not save. That's a good way to put it. So big fine for Antidale. That is definitely something we need to finish this seed. Antlion, not the worst boss to find here.
Yeah, Evo Wall's physical attack is not great, so this should be doable. Edge is going to have the most trouble dealing damage because he'll trigger the counterattacks. And for our trouble of defeating Valvalis, we are getting the Adamant Rock, so that is also required.
Yep, all of these underworld checks now starting to pay off. So this is all sort of coming together here with all of these key items being found. You got to think that we're going to start seeing a deluge of completed objectives coming in the immediate future here.
Yeah.
So I like what Antidale was doing there. We're using the Dark Command on Edge to bypass the counterattack. It's a good way to do damage with Edge. Don't have to worry about Antlion, doing a counter against the Fight Command. Similarly, using the Jump Command on Kane to also avoid that trigger. Just really smart play there. And now with a substantially stronger party than we saw with Antidale when he attempted this fight, we're going back up against Rubicante.
Yep. Oh, there's an Avenger in Cossack's inventory. When did that show up?
Yeah, I was just wondering that. I was like, oh, look, he can throw an Avenger. When are you Avenger? I do not know where he got that, but Kane's going to like it.
Rubican's not going to like that Ice Claw.
No, he is not. That is a really good way to get some damage out of your Young there. Or did he put that on Edge for the extra damage?
He put on Young for the Power Punch. And chat saying that Avenger came from a trap chest.
Oh, okay. Good find there. So yeah, definitely paying off, checking those trap chests. Antidale finished there. Is going to take his Pink Claw out of the fight, or out of the cave, rather.
Now we have the casting of the warp. There's our Baron guards.
And how about another monk? Dr. Cossack is not interested.
Looks like Antidale decided to take that boomerang after all. Opens up the potential to back row Edge.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't get a chance to put Edge in the actual back row, that's just going to be really nice in formations that do have a back row. Edge will be able to hit that back row with full power, so just really convenient to have.
Options. And Antidale looks like he's getting ready to make very quick work of that mist cave.
Yeah, this would be a prime example of getting to abuse that back row glitch, but I don't really think you need to take advantage of that for CPU in this spot.
We're setting it up anyway. Although one Quake would just take care of this. Despite appearances, the CPU and its orbs are not considered flying type enemies.
Yep, you can. In fact, there is a strategy to get through this fight that involves using float on CPU to make the nodes flying, so you don't hit them with Quake, which is one of the more interesting ways to get through this fight if you are particularly stuck for dealing damage.
Great for mage heavy parties. And Luca has for us today Artemis arrows.
I'll go with that bow that Antidale found in the Sylph Cave, but other than that, not great.
By our powers combined, we have a good archer.
And it is revenge time against the karate.
Yes, Yang is going to show us who is the true master. Yang or karate.
And there is a fresh suit of adamant armor. What is that? I don't think I've seen that armor before.
So it's this crazy overpowered piece of gear. It gives like 1,000,000 to each of your stats and a bunch of resistances, and like I don't know why it's in the game and why we don't just ban it from everything.
Gets you half-price coffee at your local joint. Lets you skip to the front of the lines at most Disney World attractions. I mean, there's nothing the adamant armor can't do.
So you're saying it can make Tela deal decent damage to Zeromus?
There's one thing the adamant armor cannot do.
Antidale resetting another that gold apple, it looks like. Can't blame him.
Question from chat, but can the adamant armor see why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Is it the plus 15 to all stats?
That stat bonus might help them see the taste.
And finding that Mad Ogre chest, let's see if we're going to do a little bit of stealing here. Yes, indeed, we're stocking up on Bacchuses.
Probably gonna defeat 2 Mad Ogres, stop the third one, and then just collect some wine.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Gonna have 3 incredibly strong bruisers here. They're all gonna appreciate that Bacchus wine. It's gonna make Zeromus much easier to deal with, rather than having to keep up the berserk status with your white mage. So, really strong pleasure.
We don't have any enemy bruisers anymore. They've all been shrunk down.
Yeah, one of my favorite ways to deal with the Mad Ogres is that mini spell.
Yeah, I saw it come into prominence during Zima Zone 3. I'm sure it was around sooner, but it's been really helpful when you have less access to hourglasses. But we've got Zeus gauntlets for our trouble, so that's pretty cool.
That is a wonderful piece of kit right there. One of, if not maybe the strongest accessory in the game. I think you can also make the argument for the crystal ring as well, but your melee characters really, really love having this for the strength and vitality boost.
Yeah, it's definitely the strongest offensive accessory in the game. The drawback is it has literally no magic defense.
Yes, it's not going to be helping you against Zeromus, who only does magic damage, but still very, very good. And quick check into the Tower of Witches here from Dr. Cossack, but we have buy on, which means you cannot get old characters back.
That is correct. And Antidale is slogging through this Fabul Gauntlet. We know that's going to lead to the Tower Key. We know that Tower Key is going to lead to the Adamant Rock, so probably required.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see how, even though he is substantially higher level with more characters than Dr. Cossack was when he went through here, not really getting through this fight any quicker. It is always just a slug.
The significant portion of the time here is just spent mashing through menus.
Yeah, right you are.
At least having access to AoE damage like that flame spell on Edge or Quake on your Palums will just make this go faster once you're in the fight.
And a rare stay at the inn in the Fame March, because I don't think we've actually seen cabins yet.
I have not seen cabins yet. Have not been paying as much attention to item shops as I usually do while commentating, unfortunately. But Kazakh will almost certainly defeat the King and Queen with ease, and might even be able to take on the dolls at this point, since we have Quake.
Yeah, now I think Dr. Cossack has been here already and has already beaten King and Queen. I think he just has the dolls left.
You might be right. Yeah, the pass is lit up on Cossack's side, so we definitely have already been here once. And I think we saw him equip that white spear, so yeah.
Yeah, should be good to go. The only thing I'd be a little worried about would be making sure your damage was distributed properly, but, you know, with easy access to Quake here, this shouldn't be too big of a concern.
And we're getting Kane ready for Avengers time.
Yep, taking advantage of that Avenger glitch where if you swap to the Avenger in the middle of the fight, you're going to retain the attack damage and properties of the initial weapon, but gain the benefit of the Avenger's auto berserk. So even though he's swinging what looks like the Avenger, it might as well be the white spear because it still has its stats.
And fortunately, the blue dolls have much more health than the red dolls, so this could be troublesome. We might get the big doll.
Yeah, Dr. Cossack's going to be quick getting the next Quake out because this is a particularly speedy spot.
As long as one doll survives, they will form the big doll. And if the big doll separates back, we'll get 6 small dolls again. Where the extra dolls come from, your guess is as good as mine.
It's magic. Oh, we got the big doll. Not what Dr. Cossack wanted to see, and yeah, he's going to take a reset out of that.
And gonna just go ahead and nope on out. Seemed like the damage incoming was not too terrible, so could have potentially played defense for a few turns while Palom bluffed up.
Yeah, that would have been one potential way to get through. Yeah, it's yeah, gosh, it's got to be really tilting right now to sort of go all the way in there and then have to leave. But yeah, Dr. Cossack deciding to go into the sealed cave instead. Is going to get rewarded with that pink tail, that adamant armor, and that's going to make things even easier here for him.
Get an adamant, get an objective.
Giant eyeball down for Antidale.
Yes, and Wyvern's still at large.
Now, I don't believe we saw Dr. Cossack check Odin, and sure enough, Antidale's going right to the Odin spot. Always a gutsy call to go for Odin before completing the entirety of Baron Castle, but It's got a strong team. It's late enough in the game. You know, he's got to be feeling a little bit of pressure at this point. Why not?
Yeah, especially after that terrible reset when we went back a bit.
Mum bomb.
No, this is Mum bomb. It's fine.
Yeah, not terribly threatening here. Just annoying because it's going to have that, 9,000 more HP.
But I suspect that Antidale is going to not reset out of this because he still has to clear the throne as well, and we know that throne is required.
Yeah, that is a big darkness crystal past the throne there, so Antidale is definitely going to want to see this out to completion.
Yeah, I guess the darkness might not be required, but we're running out of overworld checks.
Yeah, it's true. We still have a lot of key items to find. We need that Sand Ruby, we need that Rat Tail, and we need that Legend Sword. Or some combination of 2 of the 3.
Right, both of our runners have the hook. So yeah, Sand Ruby, Legend Sword, and Rat Tail, yeah.
Mom Bomb proving to be pretty punchy here for Antidale. Edge is on the ground. Going to be setting some blink strats up on his remaining Dragoon here. And looks like he's in the safe zone now. Mom Bomb has transformed. I don't think he's going to get the required damage in, but he should be able to survive the explosion and get the mini bombs down. Never mind, he's just going to burst on through.
How overwhelming.
Wow, I did not realize he had spilled that much damage over into phase 2. That's pretty incredible.
Yep. Spoon!
Spoon found, and not a bard to use it. Everybody has given up on Edward, so that is just going to be a big piece of throwing cutlery for Edge here.
Antidale still has access to Moonward.
That is true, yes. He's going to be getting the Darkness Crystal here. That Edward is there. If you're in Antidale's shoes and you go to the moon next and find that Edward, do you take him?
I mean, Adam and Spoonward.
Yeah, Adam and Spoonward is really tempting.
I mean, to be fair, Solaris, I did just scream Spoon.
And now it's Dr. Cossack's turn to deal with the Antlion. And he's going with just power overwhelming here.
Yep. But I guess, suppose you are Antidale and you decide you want that Spoonward, who would you replace?
At this point, I might replace Edge. Because I still want to hold on to that Tella for the grind.
Yeah, Tella's got a ton of utility, and you don't want to get rid of your dedicated casters. And I think you're right. Kane has better weapons than Edge.
Because you've already got your endest game weapon with White Spear. The only way you could possibly do better would be maybe a defense sword if you found it. Whereas Edge is still rocking low to mid tier katanas. So yeah, I think replacing him with Edward would. Especially if you're going to get Adamant Spoonward.
Yes, welcome, Raid from Silent Martyr.
Welcome, everybody. You are in here to see the middle and end of our community club showcase tonight, the Underground Racing Club, featuring Antidale and Dr. Cossack. We have a number of other runners also racing here tonight, with a set of flags that's designed to take them into the underworld and beyond.
All right, you can see we have 8 objectives on the tracker tonight. Only 7 of them are required, so we have a little bit of flexibility, but we're probably going to see some pretty full completion.
Dr. Cossack's also finding that chest with a boomerang in it. That's going to allow him to get his Edge back road as well. So good finds for both of our runners hitting that chest up.
Yeah, Solaris asking, is it time for moon checks? I think the answer is probably.
Yeah, we've pretty much exhausted everything planet side, so it is time to go to the moon.
Yeah, I think the only check that we have access to on Earth that we have not completed is Leviathan spot.
Yep, and that's proven pretty difficult for both of our runners. And there's always that temptation to full clear the Earth before you go to the moon, but the Feymark spots are some of those places where, if you leave them hanging, you're not going to hate yourself too much.
Right, and we need at least 2 key items out of 3 possible key items, so you're not going to necessarily lock yourself out of completion by fading that one boss spot.
Yeah, precisely. Speaking of moon checks, Antidale is headed to the Cave of Value itself, Cave Bahamut.
There is always value in Cave Bahamut, except when there isn't.
And we'll see if this is one of those times tonight.
The adamant armor is going on Edge over on Dr. Cossack's side, so that'll help make up for the lack of weapons by giving me a bunch of stats and shoring up his otherwise meager defenses.
Yeah, one interesting facet of the adamant armor that I think we should point out, since it's been so long since we've seen it in regular play, is there is a nasty little glitch associated with it, where if you put the adamant armor on somebody and take it off, they will permanently have weaknesses to all of the elements, as opposed to the resistances that the armor grants. Now you can still shore that off by like replacing it with, say, dragoon armor. That'll still give them the resistances back, but something to keep in mind if you want to bounce the adamant armor around your characters a much, you might be making them a little weak to some nasty attacks.
Yep, and we've got Octomammoth Bahamut spot. This is going to be kind of rude. This spot is very punchy, despite the fact that Bahamut himself does not employ physical attacks.
Yeah, one of the nice things here, is every individual attack is going to contribute to removing those tentacles, and Edge actually gets credit for both of his katanas, so he's very good for helping taking those tentacles down.
I did not know that he countered those 2 attacks for that purpose.
Yeah, it's I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've counted it before, and it actually works that way.
Okay. Dr. Cossack did check the item shop here in Evelyn Cave and found a Soma drop. One of those will make everything go a little bit smoother with Tella. I think he did. No, he hasn't picked up the Tella yet.
Yeah, he has. This is his first time going into the to Evelyn Cave, so we'll see if he decides to keep Tella around here. He does have that darkness crystal, so he'll know the immediate value of putting Tella in the party.
Yeah, getting access to one of the most time-efficient grinds in the game, even if it is not one of the most interesting ones to watch.
And we haven't seen a reset yet, so he might be intending on keeping this Tella.
Wow, we're getting rid of Palom. I guess that makes sense. We're kind of shaping up for Berserker at this point.
Yeah, it does make sense. He's got really good gear for his melee characters here. This is going to allow him to go into Z at a little bit of a lower level, since he's not going to have to grind all the way up to Palom getting nuke. And then he can just focus on the physical fighters doing damage, instead of also having to set up Reflect and have Palom reflecting nukes off. So, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah. I guess the main concern for me is Porum is your healer. Her hit point growth is not as good as Rose's. So you're going to need to either give her some very good defensive gear, or you're going to have to level her up so that you can survive an unnerved Big Bang.
Yeah, and we haven't seen phenomenal White Mage here. We do have a Silent Staff, which is going to be a nice boost to will for Porum, but we haven't seen anything like a White Robe or anything that's going to give you a substantial amount of magic defense. So
yeah, Sorcerer's Shirt would be great.
Yes, absolutely it would. But if only Porum could use an Aegis Shield.
Yeah. I wonder, do staffs count as one-handed or 2? I think the only character that can equip a staff and potentially equip a shield is Cecil.
Yes, you think you're right. Gosh, I've never checked. I'll have to give that a try next time.
Chat asking if we've seen the Kaipo bed. I don't think anybody's gone to Kaipo yet.
Yeah, I think Kaipo has been completely unchecked so far. No one has struggled with an old lady today.
That is one of the meaner NPC bosses. Looks like Cossack is going to do Moon bottom up. Antodale did check Value Cave. Got some value, but not the value he wanted, probably. But, like, if we wanted to turn Porum into a warrior princess...
Always an option. Usually better to get that early game than late game, but...
Yes. Cossack, using that Siren, getting some Warlocks out. Should be pretty safe once we get a Mute Bell out, or just cast Mute on them.
Yeah, good knowledge of encounter tables here to get the encounter he knows he can take on.
In a moment of truth, do we go for Adamant Spoonward?
Come on, Antodale. Is he? He's doing it! It's happening!
Yep, and exactly as you predicted, that Edge is going to go take a nap somewhere
Finally, your runner does what I predict.
off screen.
Oh, wait, going with the black belt right now, or maybe he might be just going to take the adamant off somebody else first.
Yeah, I think that adamant is on Kane.
I believe so, yeah.
I mean, nothing wrong with black belt Edward, but adamant Edward will definitely be more powerful because you're just going to get more attacks with that 255 attack spoon compared to that 100 and something attack white spear, which is still good. It's just not as good as a spoon.
Exactly. Plus, Edward has phenomenal agility. His turns are going to come around very, very rapidly. So he gets even more damage out of that 255 attack and damage spoon than you might think otherwise.
Yes, and chat pointing out that Antidale's adamant armor is on Palom.
Okay, that makes sense. Shores up his defenses substantially, and he is a big powerhouse right now. So that makes sense. Plus, that 15 wisdom on Palom does not go to waste.
Yeah, everyone loves adamant armor.
Except your agility anchor.
Yeah. Well, I have seen situations where you actually might use adamant in your agility situation if you're like trying to get somebody up to 42.
We got to hit that next break point.
Yeah, like there's a spoiler log async that got started today, and I'm actually looking at having a 42 agility Cecil be my anchor through a combination of Dwarf Axe and adamant armor because of what level he's going to end up at after the D Machine grind.
You'll love to see that. And yeah, big XP gains there for Dr. Cossack for that Warlock fight. So he's going to be in a really good position for the rest of the fights here on the moon. He might be able to forego a grind entirely looking at his levels right now.
Very possible. And we're adjusting some agilities around here. Tell staying the anchor despite some dancing on his part.
And that is a very non-threatening fight to find in the D-Lunar spot here. Just good old original Mylon. Doesn't matter how high your stats are, Lit 1 is still Lit 1.
Yep. Similarly, no matter how low your stats are, Mega Nuke is still Mega Nuke.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, we have not encountered Mega Nuke yet.
That is very true. He is still lurking out there, or possibly not. One boss does get rolled out of the pool with every seed. So there is a chance Wyvern could not be anywhere.
That's right. We do not ever force the Water Hag spot to come up in this game, so we just go ahead and have somebody have the day off.
No one would want the Water Hag spot to come up with the HP total that it has.
Right, isn't it like 65K?
Yeah, I think it's as high as it can go without a refill.
Cossack's still leaning on that single save slot. Single save slot! I can enunciate.
And a little bit of sync up from our runners here as they are now both in this original Mylon fight.
Looks like Edward is just going to hide and get that nice slingshot right now. Looks like Antidale does have 10 key items, so we're going to have a nice 200,000 experience points for this fight base, double for that Edward, so 400k will get him right up to useful levels very quickly.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. This is one of the highest XP spots in the game, and the fact that it also gives you 2 key items just makes this such an attractive spot to hit.
Exactly. The only spot in the game with higher experience is CPU, I believe.
Yep, you're correct. And some more Avenger glitch shenanigans on Dr. Cossack's screen to get Kane set up and ready to go.
Yep, gotta love it. Even if he goes down, you get him back up, he'll be berserking immediately. No need to cast a Zerk or use a Bacchus.
Unless you hit that dreaded Mimic glitch that I still don't understand.
I didn't even know there was a Mimic glitch, so you are ahead of me on that, and you know it exists.
I can't even begin to explain the mechanics of it, but sometimes when you use the Avenger glitch, it will lock your character up, and they won't take any action for several turns. And I don't exactly understand the mechanics of it, but it can be really frustrating when it happens.
All right. Well, we've got a crystal sword for our inevitable Cecil. And Moonveil.
I was going to say, well, that's throwing fodder for Edge, but A, got rid of Edge, and B, you can't throw it. So
yeah, crystal sword cannot be thrown, which I did not know when I was doing my playthrough of the PS1 port. I went and duped 255 crystal swords, and then they were just clogging up my inventory.
Yeah, that holy sword can only touch the hands of a paladin.
But, like, you can still have 255 Excaliburs, and there's nothing bad about that.
It's not as holy. Slightly less holy. It's budget holy.
What do you call it?
Diamond holy. Yeah, we'll go with that. I like it.
So, we've got the Dark Imps here at the Plague Spot. This is a free-ish fight. These are basically regular enemies. You could cast Stone on the group and just wipe them out in one go.
Yeah, they punch very, very hard here, but yeah, no boss bit, so that Stone Flag has a chance to just wipe them all out. In case that does not hit, Porum is going to be following up with that mini spell to cut them down to size. And shouldn't really need to be worried about the fact that Kane is down. This spot does not give much experience in the grand scheme of things.
And Kane is very close to being ready to go anyway, based on the hit point total.
Yeah. Well, Protector, where's the progression? There was supposed to be earth-shattering progression up here.
I meing, Protectoring will make that Edward even better.
Yes, it will. That is going to make the game's ultimate glass cannon a little sturdier.
And Tella continuing to nap, gonna be fulfilling his duty as the agility anchor for the seed.
So we still have that Ogopogo spot to check, we still have the Wyvern spot to check, and we still have the Pale Den spot to check.
Yep, and then we still have that Leviathan spot with that those dolls.
Yeah, that is still kind of scratching at the back of our runners' minds, I'm sure.
Yeah, if we could find an hourglass, it'd be so much easier since the blue dolls are subject to stop.
Yeah, that's a real easy way to trivialize that fight. Oh, there he is! We found him. He's been on the moon the whole time.
And we're getting that Starveil off on Palam's side. Amazing.
Yeah, only gets on Palom, so Antidale's going to take a reset here, probably lower his battle speed a little bit just to make sure he can get everybody up.
Yeah, but even getting Tella up.
And Dr. Cossack lands the mini spell on the Dark Imps, so they're going to be easily dealt with now.
Now, one thing I've kind of wondered in the back of my mind is the people of Silvera just never sleep because sleeping removes those status ailments they have.
Yeah, they just drink an elixir every day.
All right, Wyvern take 2. Oh, we're casting Wall instead of popping a Starveil.
Yeah, I don't.
Slower, but it does conserve the resource.
Yeah, because I don't think Antidale has been to a shop with Starveils yet. We saw them in the Hummingway abode, and I don't think Antidale went there.
All right.
Much better results this time.
Yeah, this should be fairly doable now since we're just going to have single reflected nukes.
Yeah, the most Wyvern can do now is take out one party member per turn, and he still has to set that up with Wall, so yeah, Antidale should be able to ping him out with little problem now.
Yep, and Cossack is going to go and encounter this Wyvern without a save after that Dark Imp fight.
Yeah, if he ends up having to take a reset here, something tells me he's not going to do that Dark Imp fight over.
Yeah. I mean, Protectoring is nice, but it's time.
Yes. And we're approaching the 2-hour mark in this race, and time is definitely of the essence at this point.
Yeah, nobody has done yet, so it's probably something tricky going on, and or this Wyvern is blocking progression, and this is a rude spot for Wyvern.
Dr. Cossack getting a little bit better luck than Antidale did. Got 2 Star Veils out. Should be able to recover from this without issue, so should be able to get away without a reset. Big difference between having 1 character live after that Mega Nuke and 2.
For sure. And looks like we're going to go ahead and bounce some slow onto the Wyvern.
Yep, not a bad idea. As much time as you can buy yourself to dish some damage out between those nukes.
Antidale got through, and we've got music.
Gosh, that's big. Because there could be a required key item behind that. Of course, you still need 2 key items outside of 1, so there's no temptation to bail and check that just yet, but there is always the chance that leads to a chain that gets you what you need.
Yeah, I think we stay on the moon because we've still got the Crystal Sword altar and the Murasame altar to check out, and we've completed everything that gives access to 2 or more key items, so like there has to be something up here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Or there has to be something up here because there's 3 key items left, and there could also still potentially be something behind that Leviathan spot.
Right.
Yeah,
there could be 2 progression key items on Earth, but there's guaranteed to be at least 1 on Moon between these 2 bosses.
Right, you are.
And I guess any given spot at this point has a 75% chance of progression, since we've only got 4 spots left.
And I think he forewent to save there. Oh no, I think he did a swag saving off the save point.
Yeah, that's been a thing ever since Board turned off the save point prompt.
Yeah, good way to show off. Boy, I really don't like Asura in this spot. She can be a real pain in these high HP spots.
Yeah, her speed is less of a problem because there's typically the wall strats. I don't remember how punchy this spot is, though.
I do like...
It's a non...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's a spot that doesn't use physical attack, so it's probably going to be rude. One of the things about this game is the developers, for whatever reason, decided that if we're at a spot where a boss doesn't use one of its attacking stats, it's usually going to be pretty high.
Yeah, oftentimes it's they did it for like certain places, like say Vivalis' spot has a lot of magic, and they did that to make sure that the weak spell that she threw out always hit. But that can really play havoc when you put a character in that spot who actually uses their magic attack for damage. So there can be some really nasty combinations out there.
Yeah. Wow. 9. That's a lot of damage from that Runeaxe Cane.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it was something I wanted to mention.
Is mage type.
Yeah, was swapping out to that Runeaxe was real heads up play by Antidale. Just understanding the enemy types and taking advantage of effective damage. You can really see what a difference that makes.
Yeah. Yeah, that Adamant Palom takes a whole 1 damage. And I believe we saw Cure 3 go off for like 150 points of healing.
Not terribly threatening.
And Asura is down.
Yeah, effective damage in this game is quadruple what it normally is. Take that, Fire Emblem, with your triple effective damage.
Or Pokemon with double effective.
Oh, Rat Tail, that's big.
That could be double required.
That absolutely could be. That leads to a key item itself. There's still 1 spot left on the moon. Is Antidale going to check it, or is he just going to cash in what he's got?
I think you check it, because then you just don't have to worry about coming back to the moon ever.
Throwing a save down. And yeah, going back in, going to do that Pale Dim spot.
Meanwhile, we have our first place finisher. Flurry 14 has come in at 1 hour, 44 minutes, 46 seconds. So GG's to Flurry.
Yes, Scala, absolutely. FE is better than FE.
The determination of which FE is left as an exercise for the reader.
Use context clues. And our last lunar check of the seed. It is Mylon Z. And immediately queues up that Fire 3.
Yeah, White Spear Cane is gonna do work here, as will Spoonward. Oh, but we still got that Rune Axe equipped.
Yeah, unlike the original flavor of Mylon, Mylon Z actually does have that holy weakness for being undead. So it does take extra damage from the holy weapons in the game, the silver weapons, all of that is going to do good damage. He is also considered a flying enemy. It was a way to make him immune to the Quake spell, was to make him flying. So if you have a bow and arrow or anything else that's going to do extra damage to flying types, that will also do quad damage to Mylon Z.
Yeah, bows, spears, all super effective against Mylon. I believe the later remakes have a more comprehensive element system, so that's not necessarily true. But we're not playing those versions, we're playing for Enterprise.
Yeah, this game has earth attacks, it has water attacks, it has air attacks. None of those are actually elements. You've got fire, ice, lightning, and then you've got the light and dark as well, to sort of differentiate the damage between like holy damage and the damage that you can do as Dark Knight Cecil, and that's it.
Yeah, and we don't have progression, but I believe Cossack still has his edge and can definitely benefit from that massa.
Yeah, that's like we mentioned earlier, you want to get one of those high-tier weapons in Edge's hands if you want to make him viable in the end game, and that's going to be a huge relief for Dr. Cossack. That would be French Vanilla. That is normally the Murasame spot, and the Masamune is at the Ogopogo spot.
Right. I believe the community consensus these days is that the Ninja Sword is more likely to be his second best weapon, as opposed to the Mura.
Yeah, the Mura actually has some kind of nasty stat penalties on it that you avoid with the Ninja Sword.
Yeah, I think it has an agility penalty is the main thing that we care about.
Yeah, and no, we want Edge going fast.
Rat Tail into package. Probably not going to see that checked.
We probably will not be. We are not looking for characters right now. We know D-Mist is not hiding in Kaipo anywhere. We've already taken care of him, so that's going to be some music check from Antidale here.
Yeah, yeah, our only spots left are music and Leviathan, and those are going to both be required.
Yep, they will each have a key item that is necessary to complete here. What's interesting, though, is Antidale still does not have the Adamant. So if this is Legend Sword, he still has to go get that Adamant Rock, which I believe is behind the Tower Key. Is that correct?
Double checking my notes. Yes, Tower Key was Valvalis leading to Adamant Rock.
So if you're Antidale, you don't know it, but you're hoping that this is the Sand Ruby and not the Legend Sword.
Right, and coming in second place, we have Poidrak. 1 hour, 49 minutes, 2 seconds. GG's to Poidrak.
GG's indeed. This was by no means an easy seed to get through.
So as we get ready to hear Edward rock out, what are people hoping for as far as our tunes tonight?
I'm getting a lot of Chrono Trigger lately, and I would love that trend to continue.
I mean, Chrono Trigger is the best game, period.
It is. Agreed. Hard agree.
The Gears of War art director posted some interesting realistic concept art for Chrono, Robo, and Frog recently, and it looks pretty cool.
I'll have to look that up. Oh, well, just like in Baron Castle, Palom tries to stone himself, but misses this time. See, Morrowind theme in chat, that would also be really nice. But that sounds great on the harp.
Little surprised Antidale isn't just having Palom cast weak on him, virus on himself, but I guess there's the swag of Palom giving up despite being at high hit points.
And we're going to kick it back over to DJ Spoonie D here for his rockin' tunes in the heart, and we'll see what randomized song he has in store for us today. That was a new one to me. That was right on the airship theme from Final Fantasy VIII, and that sounds wonderful on the harp.
Yes, and while that was going on, we had Infinius finish in third place at 151.07.
GG's to Infinius. There's the Sand Ruby. Antidale is officially in go mode.
And we also had a raid from Flurry, our first place finisher. And Poidrak, our second place finisher, went in and renewed his subscription. Thanks for your support.
Thank you, everybody, indeed.
So, given what we now know that those dolls are holding onto the Legend Sword.
Yep, that is the only check we have not seen completed here tonight. Unfortunately, Dr. Cossic's on a little bit of the wrong path here, going to make that Odin check rather than going to check out the harp. Should be a quick fight, though, so it shouldn't hopefully waste too much time.
Right, and we'll almost certainly just reset out of that spoon.
And hey, do you want another monk?
Is that third Yang?
Third, fourth, something like that. There's been a lot of Yang.
I think it's third Yang. Yes, that is third Yang. We had Baron in Dwarf Castle and now
Gotcha.
Ruby.
Okay.
So we are a little over halfway to Punch Mage %.
And Dr. Cossack is through that Odin fight. And as he finishes, PK4787 is finished. Fourth place with a time of 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 1 second. GG's PK. And Antidale will be pulling into the Z fight with the distinction of a 15 out of 17, not touching anything to do with that Excalibur.
So as we get ready for our Zeromus fight, there's a certain question we like to ask our community. Given that Zeromus is kind of a nasty boss, we don't usually put him in the random boss pool. That would just be really rude. So instead, we randomize his appearance with over 400, closing in on 500 various alternate arts for him, mainly developed by our art lead Scalikitty. So it's time to ask, whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
With roughly 1 Googleplex of possible sprites in the pool to draw from, it is always a joy to see who the true face of the hatred of Zemus is going to be on any given seed.
Do we have Ultimishimus? Because that would kind of be appropriate given the heart music.
Oh, yes, we do indeed. So there's no way Scalikitty would not put Ultimatius in this game.
One of my recent favorites was Mikumus. She debuted in a marathon race that I was doing with Ground Flyer, and it was just kind of adorable. Full screen Hatsune Miku sprite, and I believe the mic overlapped with my Palom.
That's gorgeous. The crystal is thrown, and the true face of evil tonight.
We've got Voidmus.
Well, we were talking about having somebody to hold down the ground, and well, it looks like it's Zeromus tonight. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, I have seen this one once before, and it's kind of a trip.
So there goes the Silk Web. That is going to apply 2 layers of slow to Voidamus here, cutting him down to speed and also triggering that counter nuke. The importance of that is that sets his magic attack to be lowered going into the first Big Bang, or nerfed as we usually refer to it here in the community. That's going to make the first Big Bang very survivable for all our characters, so you can hold off your healing until you've put a good bit of damage into him.
Yeah, exactly. Different spells in this game have different attack power. Like Fire 2 is stronger than Fire 1, for example. Nuke is stronger than Big Bang, technically, so the game lowers Zeromus' attack power when casting Nuke, so it's more fair. And if you time it right, that counter nuke will happen after he sets his magic power for Big Bang. And as mentioned, we can take less damage.
And meanwhile, Dr. Cossack opted to go down into the Fame Arch, fight those Calbrena dolls, and get the Legend Sword that way. So that's how he's going to complete this seed. No music for him, but he is now also in go mode and is going to be hot on Antidale's heels here.
And yeah, Tella has, as expected, not survived the Big Bang and is taking a nap.
Yeah, he might not seem to be doing much, but he has probably the most important role in this fight, and that is being slow, so that Zeromus behaves and doesn't take as many turns as he might ordinarily.
Right, we talked a little bit about the sorcery of agility manipulation earlier, and yeah, if you keep your characters slow or at certain agility values, you can manipulate how often Zeromus gets to act, and you can fill the action queue with more of your actions.
Oh, Kane likes that. We talked about the only thing better than a White Spear for Kane being a defense sword, and well, look what's in Kokel's shop.
Yeah, it's lower attack power, but it makes you more survivable.
Yeah, it has a higher accuracy too, is the big thing. Kane's spears generally have 80% accuracy, which means they're going to be doing a little bit lower damage than something like the sword that you're usually around 95. So that defense sword, even though its attack power raw is lower, it's ultimately going to do a little bit more damage.
Right, because the way your physical attacks work in this game is you basically have an attack multiplier, and you make many attacks during one attack command, and each of those has its own chance of hitting, and that's how you tally up your damage.
There's that Moonveil out on Palom so that he can reflect spells off of himself and avoid that counter-attack trigger from Zeromus.
Yeah, so we're seeing hybrid strats on Antidale's side. We're probably going to see pure Berserk from Cossack.
Yeah, and Dr. Cossack went into that Mad Ogre fight to steal a couple of Bacchus wines, so he's going to have a little bit easier of a setup here for his team.
Rocks are already falling for him.
Yeah, lots of damage here, especially coming from that spoon word. He can do so much damage when he's got that spoon equipped. This might be the final blow here, and down goes... No, down. Wait, there he is, okay.
There we go. And official race bot time, 1:59:43.
Finishing just under the 2-hour mark there for Antidale. Big GG's to him, taking 5th place in this race, and our first runner to finish on stream. Congratulations.
Yes, GG's to Antidale, and looks like he's in voice chat, so let's go ahead and drag him on in for an interview. And we are joined by our 5th place finisher, Antidale. GG, well played. How you feeling?
Might be setting up a little bit of audio here.
It does help if I remember that I was on comms recently and I'm not pushed to talk.
Yeah.
I understand that feeling. So, Anthony, before we begin, did you maybe want to give a PSA to the audience about the importance of saving?
No safety. I think that my play throughout both the Thermos Zone and here really just does all its own talking about how important it is, and to overestimate your abilities to do certain things, or Paladin's ability to roll 1800 on.
I did want to commend you, though, that you just bounced immediately back from that. You didn't get tilted. If you did get tilted, it didn't show on stream, and you jumped right back into that. So that was big mental play there for you.
I forgot where the siren was. I thought it was already in my inventory. So when I got down and went and did King Queen spot again, I was like, oh wait, there's no siren here. I guess I have to walk back into Fey March a third time. I'm hopefully never have to come back here ever again.
Yeah, thankfully you didn't, because music had the Sand Ruby as opposed to the Legend Sword.
Yep. And I see Dr. Cossack went a totally different way, which is cool. It's a fun thing about this flag set.
Yeah, definitely high completion.
Yeah, and a lot of divergence from the two of you throughout. Speaking of which, can you kind of guide us through what were your routing decisions, just sort of your general game plan there as you went through?
I didn't really want to redo the Maggot Sisters in case the Stardust wouldn't be enough to quite get them. I should have trusted that it would have been fine to get the two lower HP sisters, and then Forum with the Silent Staff could bonk the Middle Sister just fine. So that cost me a bit of time. And after that, it was a little bit of a scramble to try and figure out where I could pick up time, where I could try and maybe do stuff I'm a little bit out of level for. That's why I went after Dwarf Castle twice. And that didn't quite work out. Ruby was just a little bit too mean for the three-person party, and my insistence on casting Ice too early rather than just going to straight viruses. And after that, it was pretty much just go places that other people might not be going instantly. That's why, like, Bahamut Cave was the first thing I did on the moon.
Right. Unfortunately, that did not pay off.
No, I mean, I love me an Artemis bow, but I already had one from somewhere else. I reset that one, so like.
Yeah, you found that in the Sylph Cave, which was a really gutsy call. We don't really see a lot of people like opening trap chests in Sylph Cave. What kind of made you do that?
I had RA1 Palom, so that's good enough. He can Quake or Virus pretty much everything before it can get to you, so you're fine. And so it was a little bit of an XP play. I wanted a little bit more XP on Kane. I hadn't quite realized how close I was to Warp, but when Barb came up on the first trap test, I was real happy, because I was planning to do Luca next anyway, because it's kind of a weird check to do that soon. And so it was a little bit of like, cool, I now have Warp. Sealed Cave is very, very nice and easy, and then got rewarded off of that one at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I for one was thrilled to see you take the second Edward once you had gone to the moon with the spoon.
Once I got the spoon from that Odin spot, if I see another Edward, I'm probably taking him. And then he showed up. I'm like, Hedge isn't doing much. I have a long sword and a short sword for him. I don't really care. We're gonna meme it up with Spoonward because I've already lost 10 minutes or so to various saves and resets. So we're gonna have fun with this.
Yep, I mean, fun is the name of the game here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, plus he survived that entire Zeromus fight all the way to the end, so he was doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, when he lived through that that Meteo, I absolutely did a fist pump and said Bard lived.
Yeah, because you still had the adamant on Palom, right? And Edward was rocking a black belt.
He was, yeah, black belt, protect ring, and headband. I kind of forgot to switch it to him, and Palom was also going to do a lot of damage with nukes there, and he didn't have a ton of HP, and he's more important later in the fight than Edward was going to be.
Right.
But also shout out to PK for the use Tella to Zork someone and then Crystal for the second person. That was the entire plan there too, and the party order was to Zerk, Crystal, Wall, so that Eddie, in case he took the nuke to the face, was not going to actually get hit by it.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, because I thought when Zeromus transformed, he stripped all buffs.
Yes, except that the shakes do, but the transform doesn't. So every time he shakes in the beginning phase, that's stripping away stuff. So you can't do like Zerk or things there. But you can absolutely...
Oh, so if you buff and then Crystal before the next shake, you get to keep your buff.
Yeah, and so that's what like I don't know if RE2 is necessarily important for there, but it definitely makes you not lose ticks if you're fast enough for your inputs, and you don't have to run buffer then too. So a pretty easy way to get that done. Okay, I guess it was Jeeves who came up
That's
with it.
cool.
PK says in chat, but I know PK is the one who I've seen do it the most and talk about it the most. So
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about the seed? Do you want to plug Jumping Club for tomorrow night?
oh yeah, MJC is back on its restream, so come and have a hoppin' good time. I don't know if I'll be on the restream team or if I'll be running in it, but it's a lot of fun. It's a flag set that is overall easy to complete, where you have like T Wildish on, you get adamant, you actually have to have an adamant because unbeknownst to me, when I was coming with the flags to that, and Flurry and Pinganator are coming to the flags for the Underground Racing Club, we both decided to have adamants on and to make you turn into Pinktail. Of course, for the MGC, you have to turn it in. It's two standard plus 2 random, and Pinktail is always on. So
Right, because we don't have required N. It's just all objectives on MDC, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. So it's a good time. Lots of good treasure. It's on Team Wildish. You can hop over lots of stuff. So come on out. It's a lot of fun. Even if you don't know all the jumps, we can definitely teach you them. And I've got a video that I need to brush up a little bit. I have a little bit of a document too. Just come into the Discord and check it out. But thank you both, Smapety and Pixel Tamer, for doing the restream, and Elias and Solaris for doing the tracking and the actual restream. And of course, thank you guys for comms. And I will bow out of here.
All right. And thanks for chatting with us.
Take care, Antidale. And yeah, just to build off what Antidale was talking about, if you have not seen Push B to Jump in Final Fantasy for Free Enterprise, do yourself a favor and tune in tomorrow. It's a nice what if we mash this game together with Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, and it's the results are entertaining.
Yes, it is exactly what it sounds like on the tin. It's going to be on this channel tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's silly good fun.
Absolutely.
But,
Dr. Cossack did finish 7th place. He did go decline an interview. It's 1:30 here on the East Coast, so completely understandable. But huge GGs to Dr. Cossack. He ran an excellent race, was toe and toe with Antidale throughout the entire thing. So definitely want to give him a huge shout out for being rebroadcast and giving us a really great show here tonight.
Yep, he was in 7th with 2:04:08. We had Jbrun TR in 6th with 2:02:15, and Gambit 017 in 8th with 2:04:45.
Yeah, these are really fantastic times considering this was basically a 17 out of 17 seed. So all of these times right around the 2 hour mark are really, really good.
Yep, and if you guys want to just hold on for a minute or two, we are figuring out where we're going to raid.
Yeah, in the meantime, definitely check out our Discord. If any of this looks interesting to you, if you've never seen Free Enterprise before, we broadcast throughout the week. We've got our schedule set up there when we'll be broadcasting our different events, our different clubs. We have our community races every Monday and Friday night that we definitely encourage everybody to come out and participate in. They're just big races. They're a lot of fun, varied flag sets that change every week. And we have our brand new event every Saturday night is our Free Enterprise Legacy race, headed by community member Zodi Vermillion, which is a narrative-based approach to Free Enterprise with an evolving flag set that changes based on how runners play. So definitely worth checking out. We have a ton of content here that we would love for you to get involved in.
Yeah, the Legacy League is pretty neat. It's based on the Legacy board games like Pandemic, Betrayal at the House of the Hill, etc. And during Zima Zone 3, we grew the Restream team by a lot, so we're able to put out a whole lot more shows now. I think we do 5 races a week on Restream now, one way or another.
Yeah, it's we've just got a fantastic set of volunteers, and yeah, they're able to that we're more often than not we have something going on Free Enterprise related every night, so it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great community. It's super supportive, super welcoming. It makes me want to stick around and play because we've just got a lot of good people we can chat with and learn from and all these things. But I think we're going to get ready to send you off to Poorly Drawn Bees, who is still finishing up this seed. So please don't talk spoilers once we get there.
Yep, but definitely cheer them on, give them support, and we'll see them through to the end of this seed. But Yeah, for the rest of the broadcast team here tonight, our tracker Elias, our restreamer with their debut restream, Solaris, doing a fantastic job tonight, and of course Pixel Tamer doing amazing commentary in the booth with me. My name is Smapey, and thank you so much for watching us tonight.
Good night, everyone.